there may be something new going on with 20 to like 38-year-olds now. We're talking about males, and it includes females. There's less married people out there in the younger groups than ever. Mm-hmm. They're not having as many kids as they used to. A woman went on yesterday on CNBC, and I hadn't seen the video. Damon played a really good clip, and we kind of ran with that. When I watched the video, I was like, wow, this was a weird spot, because she was on to talk about the growth of sports gambling and then how that may affect the housing market. And I guess she has this agenda stuck in her head about these kids these days. And this thing went like oddly, it didn't go off the rails, but I think there's a discussion to be had here. This was CNBC.
It's all young men. And I parallel that with, or dovetail that with Pew Research, which says that 63% of young men are single. And that's the highest it's ever been. And 50% of those young men have no interest in dating, not even casually. And 30% of those men, or 30% of young men, say they have not had sex in over a year and don't seem to care. So the point being,
because they're getting pleasure out of sports betting instead.
Okay, I was glad the other woman jumped in. Like, we don't know what the audience doesn't know what the hell you're talking about, because you were talking about why DraftKings is growing so much, why sports gambling is growing so much, and she said the majority of the audience are young males from like 20 to 35, 38 years old. She quoted Pew Research, which this stuff has been a discussion for a while now. What do you think?
She came correct with stats and everything. This feels like her husband left her, like over sports betting or something, and she's ticked off about it.
I didn't, you know what? I don't want to go there because I don't know who the woman is. She was about my age, fair. But she seemed to. There was almost a little bit of anger and frustration over how young male. Maybe she's got kids.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Maybe her sons, and she's like, I want grandbabies, and they won't screw each other. Get going on that horizontal tango or whatever it is. I mean, I don't buy that for a second. Porn is cheaper now. It's way easier to get than it ever was before.
That could be part of it.
I mean, there's that.
It could be a female side of things too.
Yeah.
Maybe females are just not as open to being, I'll use an old school word, courted as much as they used to be. I'm not in that world anymore, so, and Vegas is a little bit different. God, yeah. I don't know what the bar scene is like now. I actually think the bar scene in Vegas in general is easier than anywhere in the country. So when I do hear males who say they struggle to find women, I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
We have several in the building who are insufferable complaining about that. I don't get that part. But I think the bigger part of it, and I want to finish this up and it's gonna cut off abruptly because she was gonna somehow tie it to. Maybe we shouldn't play that first. Let me make my comment because there's another direction on this. No, I think young people are just smarter now. I think they're more secure. I believe that one, we were all taught that we should get married. We do need a life partner. I think it's been proven. Well, nothing's proven. I never believed that I needed to be with someone for the rest of my life in my 20s.
Yeah.
My career was more important than that. Yep. I wanted to get set and get in a comfortable position before I did any of that. But I don't think that's the way people used to think because they had pressure from above and around. That you had to... I mean, you've been through it.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy being single, and I think, a lot of my single mom...
There's no one around to stop you from sports betting.
Exactly.
There's no one around...
Suckers? Yeah.
From stopping Ali from wearing a shirt that says Plus Money Honey, which she's got it on right now. That's a great shirt.
Thank you very much.
There's no one breathing down your neck going, you know what?
That's just it.
You're supposed to be a mother.
But it's one of those things where, like, I have my own house, I have my kid, I own my car, like I do all these things all by myself, so I don't actually need a roommate, I don't need a man.
Sounds like a terrible existence. You blew it. Right? I'm being sarcastic.
I'm just saying, if some dude comes into my world, it's not like I'm not going to take care of you and be your mom and be your wife. Like, that's not it. You got to bring something to the table that I can't already do myself. And now my kid is 13, so he opens pickle jars and takes out garbage. So you got to think harder.
You've trained him right without Uncle Steve around, because I would have had him on that 3 years ago. Yeah, so there's always this notion from people my age and older, like, hey, you're supposed to do it the way we did it. I'm like, no. And I go on this rant all the time. Younger people, while they're called pansies all the time, a lot of younger people are braver and more adventurous than we ever were. Yeah. And I'm jealous of them. But instead, people are like, oh, you're ruining your life. That was your life.
Yeah.
If people want to be single and they only want to doink once a year and they want to do what they want to do and not have someone busting their chops, then do what you want to do.
Yeah,
There's no
that's
rules.
just it.
I love it. Okay, let's play this clip because I think this is great, and especially for Damon's age group. This was all supposed to be some discussion about why people in their 20s and 30s aren't coupling up and buying houses.
So if those come online, you've got double, triple the type of revenue.
Stop this for a second. Let me set it up correctly.
EBITDA.
So when she says when those come online, what she's talking about is when California and Texas open up for sports gambling.
Okay.
These stocks are going to be through the roof, and then there's going to be more people affected by this distraction of sports gambling and satisfaction doing that. Fire it.
So if those come online, you've got double, triple the type of revenue, adjusted EBITDA. So, but what this means for housing then is you have the lowest household formation growth rate in over 60 years. It could be longer, but that's as long as the data has been comprised. And so you have young men who don't want to date and young women who are spending their time really with Instagram moments, going to the Taylor Swift concert. I don't know if you've been to them. It's all filmed about yourself at the Taylor Swift concert. So
they're not getting married and building homes.
There it is. And that's what the rant was all about. That's what the tangents were all about. She is somehow mad at 20 to 35-year-olds because they're not doing what she did or what generations before us were able to do. There's a pretty simple deal on why houses aren't being bought now, isn't it? They're more expensive than they've ever been. You can't put $2,000 down and buy a house like you used to.
And you would think, actually, with people not getting married, doesn't that actually double the population that is now looking for a house? I mean, if you think about it.
But no one can afford them.
That's true.
So it's made us.
That chick is nuts.
Yeah, and the comments on females were even worse than on the young males. That they're all about Taylor Swift and Instagram and taking pictures of themselves. Oh, okay, ma'am.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little speechless right now. Like, bleh.
It was so weird. Come on, now that you heard all of it, your take, where she was going, where she was coming from?
Solid points there, Steve.
You think?
Yeah, solid points. I mean, I'm a man that's 27 years old, and I'll tell you this right now. Hitting a 10-leg parlay may be better than sex. You hit the right parlay.
I don't think you're serious. But it is when you bet, it is a situation where you don't have to really put much work in to make the bet, and then depressingly, if you lose or you win, you just kind of get to walk away, and there's nothing else to deal with, right? Sometimes sometimes that is. You said that's your thing.
My shame.
That's your. Yeah, that was interesting on a CNBC spot about business But I think the overall point was that sports gambling companies and sports gambling apps are one of the true growth industries because we really haven't hit the high point yet.
Right.
Since California and Texas aren't in. When they're in, and then there's 38 states or 42 states in, my God.
Yeah. It's a whole different ballgame. And we've watched it, we've watched it grow little by little, as states went on and came live. I had different sponsors. I remember everyone was fighting over that New York market, who could get this, the spots in New York. That was a huge market. So it's really exciting. And yeah, we are just kind of on the cusp. I do think, like anything, it is going to plateau. And there's definitely some oversaturation already happening.
But it's a while. I think it'll be consolidation with the companies, but I don't think the actual betting is going to slow down. Ali, that went by quickly. We appreciate it.